All right, old school Texas Tech. I hope everyone is having a really good Christmas Eve. I wanted to continue with my postseason predictions. This is the Christmas Eve game in Hawaii. I don't remember if it's like even every year that they play this game on Christmas Eve, but I do seem to remember a lot of bowl games in Hawaii right around Christmas or Christmas Day. And I always thought it was kind of a fun break to the Christmas festivities. So anyway, I've liked this bowl game for a while, and I remember several of the matchups over the years. But anyway, this year we have the San Jose Spartans, who I really underestimated before the season started. I'm really eating crow on that one. South Florida. I'm not sure if I did a preview on them. Anyway, so I'm going to start with the Spartans. I went through their seasons, kind of my normal formula. Had a first year coach. That other guy went to Arizona, which didn't turn out well at all. That was a little bit unexpected, and I think it was definitely unexpected that the Spartans would make a bowl in their first year because I think that they really got hit hard by the portal last year. So you got to give this gentleman Ken Niumatalolo. Spartan fans, if you see this, correct me, correct me on the pronunciation in the comments on YouTube, please. First year OC, 8th year defensive coordinator. So they've kept the defensive coordinator in place, which was interesting. Quarterback name, I believe, is Eget, Eget, 2,224 yards. Only completed 57% of his passes, 11 touchdowns, nine interceptions. Let me double check that real quick because I was just looking at the top wide receiver number, and that doesn't totally line up. Let me look at something real quick. Bear with me. Okay, so the backup quarterback also got significant playing time as well. His name is Brown. He threw for 16 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. So I don't know who's starting for this game. Let me see who's starting for this game. It looks like Eggett's starting for the game. Okay, so anyway, back to what I was saying. They've got Nash and Lockhart. They're their two top receivers. Nash put up some crazy numbers: 104 yards, 104 receptions, 1,300 yards receiving, and 16 touchdowns. So I don't know if he's on the NFL radar or not, but it seems like he might be. The running game wasn't much, less than 1,000 yards on the ground. Their favorite back was a guy by the name of Chalk the Fourth. He ran for 4.8 yards a carry. So now I'm going to take a look at their schedules. Spartans. This was made this prediction a little bit hard for me. All the teams they lost to this season. So they lost to Washington State in double overtime. Very impressive in Pullman. They lost to Colorado State. They lost to Fresno State. They lost to Boise State, and they lost to UNLV. And they also had wins at home against Stanford. They beat Oregon State on the road. Wyoming had a disappointing season. Nevada, I don't think was very good. I remember that was that didn't look like a good situation at the beginning of the year. Anyway, they beat Air Force on the road, and then they beat Sacramento State, who I think is about to move up a level. But anyway, all their losses were to bowl teams. So we'll come back to that. I think that's significant. While I'm at it, I'll go ahead and look at the Bulls schedule. They lost to number 4 Alabama. That's no shame in that, really. They beat Southern Miss, Bethune-Cookman. Then they lost to Miami, at Tulane, Memphis. All four of those are bowl teams. Navy's a bowl team. That was another loss. They lost to Rice. Rice, it seems like Rice picked off like 3 or 4 bowl teams this year. But then they didn't have a great season. I was looking at their record. So then South Florida. So like I said, Bethune-Cookman at Southern Miss. They beat UAB. They beat Florida Atlantic. They beat Charlotte, and they beat Tulsa. But some of those games were blowouts. So I don't know. This one's a hard one to predict. All right. So South Florida Bulls second year coach Alec Golish. Quarterback name is Archie. Um, he had uh, he had I think I saw 9 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. He completed 58% of his passes for about just under 1,700 yards. Let me double check that stat. I thought I had written it down, but I have not. Sorry, it's Christmas Eve. Yeah, okay, yeah, 9 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. The backup was involved a little bit. He did spread it around a lot. 5 wide receivers, double-digit receptions. They have a tight end they like to use, and he throws it to the running back. South Florida has a good running game. Three backs that they use. Two backs average 5 yards a carry. The one back who is slightly, I think he's their slightly leading rusher. He has six more carries than a gentleman by the name of Wright. But he's got some good numbers: 7 yards a carry, 11 touchdowns. We already went through South Florida's schedule. South Florida's +7 on the turnover margin. Um, San Jose State is not good on third down or fourth down on defense. They are good against the run. Both teams are pretty good against the run. San Jose State gives up 3.6 a carry. South Florida gives up 4 a carry. San Jose State gives up 155 on the ground, 232 through the air. South Florida almost identical on the ground, 157 per game on the ground, and 279 by through the air. This is a pretty hard one for me to predict. I think San Jose State, uh, had a little bit more difficult schedule, a little bit more impressive regular season with some of their wins, and I think they had a little bit tougher schedule for sure. But South Florida won the turnover margin by 7, and they're much better on third down. And they've got a good running game. And so I don't know what all's going on with the transfer portal. I never do on these, but I'm going to go South Florida. I'm going to go against Vegas and against ESPN Analytics, and I'm going to go South Florida 28-24. But I think this game could go either way. All right, everybody, have a good Christmas Eve. I haven't decided if I'm going to do any more videos tonight. I might. I'll kind of see how everything goes. But anyway, Chris, have a nice Christmas Eve, and I will see you tomorrow for Christmas. I will do some stuff on Christmas. It will probably mostly be tech related, but I'll get up in the morning and shoot some videos. I want to get caught up on everything that's going on with Texas Tech, recruiting, Liberty Bowl, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, have a good night, everyone. Take care.